Decision brought to you from the Sid and Cal Studios. Bueller, Dodge, and Dennis ready to break you off some MMA news. Look back at the stuff that may have happened last weekend. I don't think there were any fights, though, were there?
No.
But we do have stuff going down this weekend. UFC 223 as well as Bellator happening. And yeah, some news, some things happened this week.
Not a whole lot.
No? Really slow week. Going to be a short podcast here. So with that being said, going to go ahead and jump into it.
First story we have is, you remember, let's see, we have it here. This fight, back up. This fight here, which was Matt Brown versus Carlos Conor, was supposed to be going down.
Yeah.
Fox 29, this is 2 weeks, April 14th.
I was excited about this.
Yeah, it was going to be a good fight. Unfortunately, Matt Brown has torn his ACL.
Like legit. I saw the picture.
Yeah, it looked bad.
Yeah,
it looked really bad.
He went in to kick pads to see if he could still perform on it. And
yeah, it made it worse.
Yeah, no good.
It made it worse. So he has had to pull out of that fight. There was rumors at the time that Tim Means was going to be stepping in, but now instead we do have Charles Oliveira. Or excuse me.
He can't. He's the other cowboy.
Alex Oliveira.
Except for he can't be cowboy anymore because he lost cowboy.
Yeah, he's got cowboy tattooed on his chest.
But Cerrone took it from him.
That's what I thought.
In a fight.
But he got it tattooed on his chest.
Yeah.
So now you have Alex Oliveira going up against Carlos Condit. Still a decent fight.
Yeah, no, this is a
cool
fight.
with that.
I like seeing Carlos Condit fight anyway, so I'm cool with that too. Natural born killer from my home state. I'm down.
Yeah. And other than that, that's about it.
So thanks for listening. Check in with us next week. You can always check our sponsors, Dependable Solutions.
I can't believe there wasn't much. I thought we had a whole show.
Unless you've been living under a fucking rock. Because there is a lot of shit that has happened all around one event.
There ain't nothing happened, but UFC done lost its mind. It done went to the whole nother level. That's what it did.
UFC 223 was supposed to be going down this weekend.
At the Barclays Center in New York.
In Brooklyn, New York. And holy shit.
Oh yeah, dude. It was all because Dodge is like, man, there's not really nothing going on.
There's nothing going on.
223 is like, oh hey, hold my beer.
Hold my beer. Exactly.
This came out on Easter, April Fools, and everyone's like, it's April Fool's, right?
Hey, this is a big joke.
It's a joke. Y'all joking, right? Tony Ferguson.
Oh, you got jokes.
Slipped and fell and
broke his crown.
Tore his LCL in his knee.
They tripped over some cables.
Allegedly, he was wearing sunglasses inside, which we all know Tony Ferguson likes to do, and tripped over some cabling.
I wish I'd known that line.
You gotta be cool.
He wears his sunglasses inside.
You know, here's the thing.
He can
You mean
tear his
inside?
Here's the thing: is I trip over shit all the time.
Joey always be tripping.
And I am not
Joey's
even
always
remotely
tripping.
close to the kind of shape these guys are. These guys are supposed to be well put together, well-oiled machines. I trip over fucking everything in my house.
That's how you found out you weren't gay. You tripped and fell on that dick.
A trip fell, landed on a dick.
Yeah. But it's
Tried it
almost like
again.
these Indy cars.
Wasn't for him.
You know what I mean? It's like Indy cars and NASCARs. NASCARs, you can fucking bash them on the walls, hit each other. Indy cars, they barely touch something. Fucking beer.
Yeah, they blow up.
You lose the whole front
Parts
end.
everywhere.
I have fallen down my stairs. I have kids. I've tripped over all their toys. I have never torn.
But were you intoxicated at any point?
Did you hit your face on every stair?
That's
But
that
not
whole thing
always.
where the
Your
drunk
body's a little
driver
looser?
always is like
Yeah.
loose and fine.
No, not
He
always.
was tense and ready to go for an interview.
The time I fell down the stairs, I was totally sober. Not tear anything.
What?
So tore his LCL,
Totally sober.
is pulled out
Totally
of UFC
sober.
223. I originally thought DC maybe tripped him on the Fox set. He's Khabib's training partner. I was trying to start that rumor. No one was buying it. He put out this on Instagram, said words cannot explain how hurt, frustrated, and angry and it is disbelief I am. As I was completing my pre-fight media obligations on Friday, I had an accident on the studio set that tore a ligament in my knee. My doctor and the UFC doctor both said I couldn't fight. So yeah, he went to his doctor and he's like, no, I want a second opinion. Went to the UFC doctor and they're like, no, you definitely can't fight.
At least he went through those motions. That's cool.
They said he can't fight. One saying he may need surgery. He's going to see a specialist to find out the final determination. He said, I wish I could get up there and defend my belt ASAP. I want to apologize to the fans, the UFC, Khabib, my teammates, coaches, friends, family. Oh, he said there is a silver lining in this nightmare of reality because this isn't an April Fool's. Good health and blessings to you all. So yeah, that's pretty freaking crazy.
And we had to wait till Monday to find out if it was true. That made it even crazier.
Yeah, we had to wait until Monday, and then
Yeah, that's when I was like, nah, midnight. When someone was like, we had you.
and everybody was kind of wondering what was going on. There was rumors that he might have been stripped of his title or something was going to happen. He thought, totally no way. He's like, there's no way the UFC is going to strip me of my title. He said, seriously, he's like, there's a precedent for having a fight for a real title and keeping the interim still intact. They did the same thing with Robert Whittaker last year.
Yeah.
That he shouldn't. Dana White comes out and says, oh no, we're not stripping him. The only person getting stripped of his title is Conor McGregor. We're not stripping Tony Ferguson. He's not being stripped. The only one that's losing the belt is Conor. Conor's losing his belt. However, these two are going to be fighting for the belt. So Tony's just goes away. Like, he didn't say he wanted to strip Tony, so it's not going to be written down he was stripped. His belt just disappears.
So who is going to be fighting for the belt after? Was it going to be Max Holloway for the belt?
Yes. So then we had, first of all, Conor McGregor put up this tweet. These fools pull out more times than I do with my dick.
What's that even mean?
You have a kid. You don't.
Which I thought was, and everyone's like, wait, what? And then, of course, there's this. Of course, you can't pull out of a fight if you never fucking defend, Conor.
Yeah.
After that tweet, you should be able to put like a Coke sniff so people knows. It's like, I do that when I pull my dick out.
There's an emoji for that?
Yeah, an emoji
There
for
should be. I think there is one.
So, yeah, the UFC went out and tried to find a replacement. The first one I believe they offered to was Eddie Alvarez. And Alvarez said he turned it down because there's no way he can make the weight. He goes, I come in a little heavy usually anyway. This was in 6 days' notice. He said there's no way that Eddie said there was no way I'd be able to make the weight. I asked for a catch weight. They said no. Max Holloway stepped up, who's normally a 145-pound fighter, who's the champ at 145, and said that he would be able to step in and save the card.
Without making weight.
With making weight. He said he
could make the weight?
He said he could make the weight. Now, a lot of things were going on with that. His nutritionist said, this is going to be the toughest weight I've ever had to help a client with. Now, mind you, if you follow his nutritionist and you find some of his other clients, the toughest weight cut that he ever helped with was 25 pounds. So if this is tougher, even at 1 pound, that means that Max was coming in 26 pounds over the limit for 6 days before the fight.
Right.
That's a lot of weight.
That's a lot of weight to cut. And that's a dangerous amount of weight to cut, honestly.
And so they were saying that he's walking around at 181, had to make 155 for the fight. That's pretty.
I can't believe he walks around that much anyway, fighting at 145. That's insane.
That's a lot of weight.
Believe it. These motherfuckers are fighting so
Think of
far
Rumble, man.
out. Yeah.
Think of Rumble.
Oh, I know, but Rumble had trouble
But
with
they're
it.
just they're so far out of these weight classes. That's why we need to see them fight closer to their weights.
Dana White, when they asked Dana White about why he didn't have Conor step in for this fight, he said,
he's on his way down here to do some shit.
He said, first of all, I don't think Conor McGregor can make the weight on 6 days' notice. That's a tough weight cut for him. And he isn't a guy that I want to throw in as a late replacement fighter. He's a guy I want to make a fight with the right amount of time to promote and have the fight in the right place.
Yeah.
So I wasn't interested. So I guess fuck Max Holloway.
Fuck Max Holloway, yeah. Fuck
Apparently
Max
Brian
Holloway.
Ortega got offered the fight as well.
It is what it is, man.
really?
It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, from a marketing standpoint, that makes complete sense because you got to have 6 months to get the money back out of Conor McGregor that you got to put into him.
So then, of course, the news went around that Dana White would be stripping Conor of his belt so that Max Holloway and Khabib Nurmagomedov would be fighting for the title.
So Max was actually going to be fighting for the 155 title.
He was going to be fighting for the 155 title.
Holy shit! I did not know that.
He did a interview where he said that he will be the first ever guy to hold 2 belts and defend both belts. He planned on actually defending belts if he were to get the opportunity and he won against Khabib.
I like it.
And then, of course, Conor McGregor has to chime in one more time. Says, you'll strip me of nothing, you'll do nothing, you cunts.
All right.
Apparently posted it towards good old Mr. Dana White there.
Again, there should be a Coke sniff emoji.
Allegedly hanging out with John Bones.
That conjunction, usual.
Usual. Yeah. Usual, strip me of nothing.
Usual.
No, emojis don't mean nothing. There's no insinuation emojis.
Earlier,
people send me purple rutabaga or something all the time.
Is that what that is?
What?
What is that?
What is that?
Purple rutabaga?
Whatever the...
It's like little kissy lips next to it?
No tears.
It's the raindrops. The raindrops?
I get the you're okay. All the time.
okay.
Yeah, you're okay. That's what it means, right? You're okay.
So apparently this video has been floating around.
Now that I think about it, I get a lot of people pointing up. I don't know. I'm like, what? What am I supposed to be looking at?
Can
they see me?
I got a carrot. Like a guy was really hungry for a carrot because it was a carrot and like drool. Really hungry for a carrot.
Just trying to help you out with your diet.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
I eat carrots a lot now.
There it is.
That's my snack.
Water.
Yeah.
I think I would probably post like a purple rutabaga and then like the Z's.
So this video's been floating around the YouTubes here for a little while. This is Artem Lobov doing an interview with a Russian media site, MMA site, where he was basically, the whole thing was in Russian, but luckily someone was able to translate it, and he was talking about...
And you got to trust this translator.
For the
Can
most
you just
part,
do YouTube subtitles? Isn't that what people do when they listen to us?
yeah.
Yeah, but go watch the subtitles.
Sometimes the subtitles are a little off.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, obviously, our Artem Lobov is Conor McGregor's training partner and friend and gym mate. He also was going to be fighting on UFC 223. So he had recently did this interview on a Russian MMA website where he was basically calling out Khabib, saying that Khabib is a chicken, he's a pussy, that he shouldn't be talking bad about Conor. Conor always takes fights when fights are available to him, that Khabib's pulled out of 6 different fights and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
Khabib apparently saw this video, was not happy, and happened to see Artem in the hotel hallway. I think it was, or
a hallway.
lobby or something like
no,
that.
I think it was upstairs, but it was by the elevators for sure.
By the elevators. And confronted him, basically. And again, they were speaking completely in Russian. I found translated videos where he basically walked up to him and said, I heard you were talking shit. Why don't you say it to my face? What did you say? And Artem was like, I didn't say anything. And he's like, no, there's video. Like, you were talking shit. You want to call me a chicken and a pussy? Well, why don't you say it to my face? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't say anything. So went up to him, grabbed him from behind the neck, and was like, why don't you say it to my face? Otherwise, keep my name out of your mouth. Gave him a little smack on the back of the head, released him, and him and his entourage walked away. Now, mind you, Artem was alone, kind of walking in the hallway.
And that's where I had a lot of confusion about this, because everything took place in Russian, and there were a lot of guys down there.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if there were some that were on Artem's squad, or if it was all Khabib, or
Allegedly,
what.
it was all Khabib's.
So that's crazy.
So that had happened earlier this week as well.
That picture's intense.
That was...
Oh, yeah.
Like he's about to steal his soul.
Yeah, it looks pretty insane.
That was... See, I thought when I watched it, I thought that when he put him in the clinch that he was just having a bro moment, like, hey, calm down.
No, it was...
But he was speaking fucking Russian, so it was like...
It sounded romantic.
Yeah, it was like...
He's like, your neck is so soft. Who cleaned you up?
So
I
I'm saying...
think he wanted to
Who's
give him
your
an
brother?
eggplant with some tears.
Yeah, he's either giving him like a heart-to-heart, like, hey, buddy, come down. We're both in the same company. Or he was like, I will find your fucking house. I will kill your children.
I have a special set of tools.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Conor McGregor decides to take action. So this is Media Day in the Barclays Center.
So the whole Artem thing was when... This is a fucking weird week when you look at the timeline. When you got...
This was Tuesday. Tuesday is when the Artem thing
You
happened.
can take
Was
the
it
kid
Tuesday?
from the
Tuesday.
ghetto,
It's either Monday or
but
Tuesday.
you can't
I
take
thought
the
it was-
ghetto
I saw
from the
video on
kid.
Wednesday, I thought.
Yeah, it was, but it happened either Tuesday or Wednesday.
I'm gonna go Tuesday.
Okay, so the
fucking timeline.
UFC Media Day happens. They have this big press conference. Allegedly, Artem had let Conor and friends know, hey man, I basically got punked.
It
by
is an eggplant Pablo.
Khabib, by Khabib and all of his.
He went straight to his room and fucking called Conor.
Yeah, it was like, hey,
man,
Oh,
got
I mean,
punked.
I need to do that phone call.
Yeah.
man.
Make it. What kind of ringtone would Conor have?
This is something Irish.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Too.
Probably.
That theme song that guy on YouTube created for him, his own song.
He's like, hello. They fucking touch me. What happened? They touched me. Fuck that. Fire up the jet.
Give me the rolls so I can get to the jet.
Yeah.
Maybe the Rolls Royce. We're going to America. Round up the boys.
Are you
Yeah,
done?
exactly. Round up the boys.
Round up the
Are you done
boys.
recording? Are you done recording? Okay. Hey, somebody call Southwest.
I don't have enough for the fuel for the
Yeah, they won't charge us for bags.
Yeah, so he
Okay.
But did he round up the boys from the gym or did he round up the boys from the pub?
20 guys in a
in a fucking jet.
From the pub?
whatever.
pub. Yeah. Hey boys!
Hey boys, we're going to America and getting in a fight.
No. Who's got a passport and wants to go to America?
Yeah.
We're fighting though, lads. Don't bring your mothers. None of your children's and lassies.
So
He's all talking them up in the airport. Okay, we're going to go in. It's going to be a fucking riot.
It's gonna be a fucking. They're watching Snatch on the flight.
the Mac Life crew, which is Conor McGregor's like documentary crew that follows him and his gym and everybody, they had credentials. Obviously, they're following Artem. They let Conor into the Barclays Center through a side door.
They're going to get in so much trouble.
Which
for that.
now, after this event, their media credentials are gone.
For life.
For life, pretty much.
Yeah.
They let him in. There's video footage of them roaming through the Barclays Center looking for everybody. They get into an elevator, go down to where
And then you said they were pushing people while they were doing
pushing people out of the way, trying to find where are all the fighters? Where are all the fighters? Well, the fighters were in the loading dock area, getting into the buses, chartered buses, to go back to their hotels because media day was over.
Back to the hotel.
V-Town, brother, check it out. I'm about to dope down.
They show up in the loading dock and proceed to cause mayhem, pounding on the glass of the buses, punching the buses, going for anything and everything they could find. They started throwing chairs,
Throwing up GTA stars.
guardrails.
Yeah, the
Conor
guardrails,
McGregor
barricades.
grabs a dolly, which I gotta give him. I mean, I don't like Conor, but I gotta give him this bit of credit. You're wandering around like a fucking maniac, and you're like, guardrail. You don't see the trash can, the chair.
No.
I'm taking the motherfucking dolly.
Yeah.
I'm going for that.
Dollies are heavy as shit.
Yeah,
too.
pick
Yeah,
something,
you
and then
see-
I'll give him the
Right.
wherewithal to pick up the dolly and fucking huck it,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it goes straight
Yeah.
like a dart
Yeah.
into the side window of one of the
You
buses.
threw that thing like 6
Who
feet.
throws a dolly?
Who throws a fucking dolly?
See, this is where you look at who does throw a dolly. Somebody who's on some next level stuff. I'm not making any allegations.
Well, I think there was
but like you said, he didn't like throw some little stuff. He was
no.
like, I'm gonna grab this car.
grabbing the
He had
dolly.
that,
Beat
his
that car with
adrenaline
it.
was pumping.
I think he didn't act alone. There was a chair that came out of the bushes and went back into the left.
And then the second chair that hits the front of the bus,
Yeah.
that's from Cohen.
So yeah, one of his other partners threw another chair. So they were going crazy, attacking the bus, basically trying to get to Khabib. Inside the bus, there was UFC staff, there was other fighters. Now, in the mayhem of all this, you have 2 windows broken. You have the other bus trying to get pulled out and get smashed up as well. You have a bunch of injuries happen. A bunch of people are involved. People are running around like World Star carrying cell phones, full-on documentary camera
Yeah.
films. There's also security footage. There's a lot of witnesses
Yeah.
here that
They-
you were an idiot in front of.
Yeah, plus the interior the whole time, Khabib's like, open the door.
Yeah, Khabib was saying
Let
he
me out.
wanted to get out and fight. Everyone kept telling him, no, just
Yeah.
stay, just stay, just
And which
stay.
even also what's crazy about
Do you
this
think
is
he
that
really
the
wanted
fighters-
out, or was it just like some guy like,
No,
Hold me back, bro.
hold me back,
Hold me
bro.
back, bro.
I think Khabib wanted out.
I think that there's 2 kinds of fighters in the UFC. There's fighters like Artem and there's fighters like Khabib. You know, like Artem gets confronted, and even though he fights for a living, he doesn't want to fight when he's not getting a paycheck. Khabib, Conor, fighters like that, they don't give a shit. They're
Don't care.
always going to fight. They're ready to
Right.
throw. They're not going to fucking be sheepish in front of you. I was talking shit. I'll talk shit to your face too. You want to fight right here? We'll fight right here.
Yeah,
And
but Conor's not like that. They even said like he goes and hides from people in the back. He's not a confrontation person like Khabib.
Hey, on camera, he's a confrontation.
Oh well, yeah,
person. He's
they even
always-
said that. Turn that camera on. But I mean,
Yeah.
what happened in that parking area? That's just some seriously. Like
It looked like soccer hooligan shit to
Everything's
me.
off the rail.
Yeah. So security breaks them all up.
Someone got a bad batch at the party. That's all it was.
Connor and the entourage get into an SUV that's waiting out front and take
Well,
off.
before all of that, though, you got to keep in mind the people on the bus, the fighters on the bus, were watching this, and they didn't know it was Conor.
Some people didn't. Yeah, one of the UFC
Yes,
staff members
Pablo,
said.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
One of the staff
I
members
don't know what that
straight
means.
up
or
said,
has to do
we
with
didn't know
any
what
of
happened.
this.
We didn't know if it was the Russian mob coming after
Habib
because of the issues he had with Artem. We didn't know if what was going on. We thought somebody might have a gun. We had no clue. Another person said once they spot, oh, it's Connor. Everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What's
He's not
Conor
even
doing?
here.
And
Like,
there was someone in the other bus saying, "Let me Brazilian."
yeah, a Brazilian was like, I'm gonna fucking kill that guy. Just let me go out there and handle this. Like, it was
The Russian mob for Artem. The Russian mob doesn't like Artem.
pretty fucking crazy, the situation. You could see, like I said, there's lots of footage online. You could see a lot of people. Felice Herrig was taking it on her Instagram.
My favorite part is when Sting descended from the raft.
Yeah, I just said it for the. This seems
seriously.
very, very WWE. In fact, somebody actually asked Dana, "Are you sure this wasn't like planned?"
No, there was somebody at ESPN that called it fake. It still says it's fake.
Still says it's fake, and he's like, "That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard." Which Dana says a lot is a thing. So Dana has a lot of things that are dumb.
But the guy, he said he's been to the Barclays Center, and he says you need multiple passes to get down to where those people were.
Yeah, but they came through the elevator. They came through a side door. It's not like they went into the directly into the loading dock. They actually got let in by people who had passes, and they even security guard was like, "Oh, it's Conor McGregor. Cool, yeah, just come on in.
Yeah,
come on in."
But you got to think like this is some next level thug shit because Artem fucking calls Conor and he's like,
HNL.
Yeah.
hey daddy, they beat me up. And so Connor's like, okay son, I'm gonna round up the boys, I'm gonna be there. And on the fucking flight over while they're watching fucking Mickey and Jason Statham, he goes, you know what, I'm gonna call the Mac Life crew
They're
so
gonna
they
let us
can
in.
so they can let us in.
Yeah.
So there was like several levels to this.
Yeah.
And that's insane to me. That is a thug mentality.
Hey, what do you think those guys are thinking when he threw the dolly? They're like, we're fucked.
We were fucked.
When he went all Street Fighter bonus stage on everything. Like,
Why'd you let us build bunk beds?
I want to just play that game.
yeah, just Conor beating up a bus with a dolly.
Just as fast as you
Going
can
all,
tap.
what is this, Britney 2000? Like, when did she go crazy? Like,
2003.
2003?
Yeah, and she said he's pulling a Katy Perry.
Yeah. Just fucking
As
going
soon as he
nuts.
shaves his head, we'll know.
So, yeah, we have...
Like, nobody on the flight over was like, when they kind of cooled down a little bit.
This might not be a
was
good
like,
idea. Dana White...
I forgot to tell my wife that I was going. Can we just go back and drop me off?
No.
No, because
you
on the plane.
You know it. That's exactly how he's like. They were slapping Artem around.
Yeah.
They were slapping Artem. Get
Nobody slaps our boy.
Yeah.
Nate Diaz, it was funny, posted up a tweet.
Don't ask questions, Mr. Pink. Don't
Nate
ask
Diaz
questions.
posted up a tweet that was like, what'd you expect? You fucking hit his boy while he was alone. Of course you're going to get fucking rolled on. Rookies?
Rookies.
Dana White immediately did a like pseudo press conference of like 4 or 5 media members.
Wasn't Nick saying that he slapped him
Okay,
around anyway?
so I watched this, and Ari.
This was live.
Ari supposedly called him, and he's like, "I'll talk to you after I do this thing with MMA Junkie." They were the
Yeah.
first ones to have it, and then he goes, "Oh wow, I feel pretty important. You just told Ari that
Yeah.
you know you'll call him back," and he's all. I need to think. He's like, seriously, I need to think.
Dana- yeah,
I don't
MMA
have any answers for Ari, and Ari Schaefer is probably just fucking through the roof.
Yeah, Ari
yeah.
Emanuel, yeah.
Oh, is that his name?
yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm Ari Emanuel. Ari Shaver's a comedian.
Oh, okay.
He's all right.
All right.
He's all right.
So
Hey,
yeah,
that's the WME guy.
Ari Emanuel, yeah. Who Ari Gold from Entourage.
Entourage is based on, yeah.
Because he controls most of the money
does, yeah.
through investors, and he has to answer to people
Yeah.
just in his small
Oh yeah, no,
investment.
they're shitting bricks right now. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So this thing went live on Facebook for MMA Junkie. So this was like not scripted, not ever. It's like, hey, you want to sit down? We're gonna do this live. He's like, yeah, okay. I think he thought they were recording it because for a good 3 minutes before, like he's walking around on his phone, like, are we gonna be recording soon? Like, just like
Yeah.
I'm like trying to listen. Like, oh, what the fuck is he gonna say? He's not supposed to know. Like, basically goes on there, goes through the whole situation, where he talks about what happened. He said a bunch of thugs, basically. He says that the police are out looking for McGregor right now. His plane cannot take off. He cannot leave the state of New York. There's a warrant out, which I think he meant APB because there wasn't a
5
warrant.
stars. 5 stars.
Yeah, 5-star Grand Theft Auto. He's all, I'm assuming they'll catch him. He'll turn himself in.
APB. He's got a BOL. Calling on cars. Calling on cars. Be on the lookout for a little Irishman trying to escape the country.
He's like, I imagine he's going to be sued beyond belief.
They're driving a black sedan.
You
They're
know,
driving a white sedan. They're driving a blue sedan with little yellow rubber duckies on it.
he keeps going into the paint booth. I keep losing him. He goes, it's definitely a bad career move for him. He said that this is obviously how you lose fans. He's like, it's
Like at this point, he just threw shit at a bus. Like he gives a fuck about. Oh, I lost some fans.
They,
Some of you are disappointed.
They asked him. They said, they asked him basically all kinds of questions. They said, do you want to be in the Conor McGregor business? He said, he's like, do you want to be in the Conor McGregor's business after this? He's like, I don't. He's like, I don't want to talk to him. He goes, if he tries to call me, he's like, I don't want to talk to him right now. He said, you want to grab 30 of your fucking friends and come down here and do what you did today. It's disgusting, and I don't think anybody is going to be a huge Conor McGregor fan after this. I don't know if he's on drugs or what the deal is, but to come in and act like this, it's the most disgusting thing that's ever happened in the UFC.
And there's been
think
some
it's-
disgusting things in the UFC.
Yeah, I think it's a horrible thing to happen with the sport, but for a lot of McGregor net swingers, this is
They don't care.
exactly what we've been telling you, dude. This cat he's not a champion. He's not.
Yeah, he says this is the most
Can we all
disgusting.
agree, though, the most disgusting thing that's happened in the UFC, though, was Dennis Hallman's training mask?
Right.
Or was it? Or
There's
was
whole
it,
other levels
Alexis
aside
Sakara
from.
getting his nut smashed.
No, it's definitely Dennis Hallman's training mask.
Yeah,
The shorts.
more than Tim Sylvia shitting himself.
No, the training mask shorts are the
all right.
worst.
I think Magana's boob coming out. That's probably the most.
Dana White says this is the most disgusting thing
or
that's
the
ever happened
head gina.
in the history of the
any head
company, and there is a warrant out for his arrest. They're looking for him now.
I do have to disagree with this. I think that somebody who was allegedly high and possibly intoxicated, getting in a hit and run with a pregnant woman and breaking her arm in that incident, then running away and going into hiding for 24 hours.
That happened over
they
in
couldn't-
Bellator or something?
Yeah, or 48 hours, so they couldn't be tested for anything. Went back to their car to make sure they got all their drugs and money, but didn't go check on the woman they hit. I think that might be the most disgusting
Yeah,
thing.
this is pretty close.
Yeah.
Because
That happened in boxing, right?
It was boxing.
also the New York.
Underground boxing was the 5-cornered ring thing.
The New York State Athletic Commission
in parking garages.
issued a statement, and they said the incident that occurred today at the Barclays Center was unacceptable and has no place in New York. Multiple published reports, including photos, video, evidently show Mr. McGregor and his members of his entourage engaged in destructive, aberrant, and illegal behavior, endangering the safety of those around them. It is our understanding that local law enforcement is involved in actively responding to the matter. At least one fighter scheduled is reportedly injured. Medical staff will assess the injuries of the fighter to determine whether they're able to compete. Commission has commenced dialogue with the UFC and Barclays Center management in response to the incident. All parties are working together to ensure the appropriate protocols are in place for the protection of the fighters.
New York, of all places, the state that we had the hardest time getting into.
The UFC released a statement
Seriously.
immediately.
Why we can't have nice things?
This is why we can't have nice things.
UFC released a statement immediately and said during today's media event at the Barclays Center to promote UFC 223, Conor McGregor and Artem Lobov entered the building accompanied by a dozen individuals. The group, which included McGregor and Lobov, vandalized the vehicle containing numerous athletes competing at the event taking place this weekend. NYPD was immediately alerted and contacted. They are in the process of investigating the situation. UFC is working close with the New York State Athletic Commission and Barclays Security and law enforcement authorities. All parties working together to ensure the highest standard of safety precautions will be implemented. They also said immediately, they said the organization deems today's disruption completely unacceptable, currently working on consequences that will follow. Immediately, Lobov has been removed from the card, so he's off the card.
Yep.
That's one last fight. And then said all the individuals involved in the incident are not welcome at the ceremonial weigh-ins or at the event on Saturday. Oh, you tell me I have to stay away? He's in fucking jail. Khabib Nurmagomedov did a interview right after and said, I was laughing inside. You broke a window. Who cares? Come inside. If you're a real gangster, why don't you come inside the bus? This is a big gangster place. It's Brooklyn. You want to talk to me? Send me the location. I'm going to come. No problem. You want 10 on 10? I'll make it 10 on 10.
Love that.
Because they do that stuff in Dagestan.
They do that stuff in Ireland with the hooligans.
Man, Ireland's bitches.
Also, the fallout of this,
IRAs, bitches?
Michael Chizia.
I did not. Did you just say that?
Michael Chizia in that bus with the broken glass actually had glass shards into his face, several lacerations, had to go to the hospital. He tweeted out and said the decision was made by the New York State Athletic Commission that they had to pull me from UFC 223. I'm devastated to say the least. I hope basically he gets to fight
Excessive
Pettis
scabbing?
again.
Or you can't have an open wound on your face?
We don't know how bad they were. If he
Yeah.
had to get stitches, then he's
I saw somewhere that no stitches, but they basically said that it looked like he one punch and he just immediately start bleeding
open up again.
Also, Ray Borg was supposed to be scheduled on this fight or on this fight card. He had dust from the glass shards in his eyes. He had to go back multiple times to the hospital to get checked out.
Did he get the rinse?
To get the rinse. He has been pulled from this card. He is no longer allowed to fight on it.
Was he like, oh, wait, let me get some of that glass from you? I don't want to fight this weekend either.
No. He was on the other side.
He was on the other side.
Where it didn't break all the way, just the fine shards like dust.
That
So
sucks.
that's
I can
3
imagine having
fights.
glass on my- fuck that.
3 fights pulled
bothers
from this
me.
card just from Conor McGregor busting in and doing this whole thing. Absolutely insane.
I wish he would have tore his ACL throwing that dolly.
And then to
I
top
wonder
it
if
all off,
somebody tightened his spokes while he was in jail.
to top it all off, the next day Max Holloway has to pull out of his fight. So the main event is in question, and that is because the New York State Athletic Commission said that he wasn't within the safe range of weight cut. He came in at 159, I believe, today. Now the weigh-ins they were last night. He got pulled out of the fight. Your main
And
event.
that's his trainer's fault for saying how far overweight he was.
I kind of think so, man.
I agree with you.
I mean, he put up. He said, "Team Khabib, my brother. I wanted to keep going, but they're stopping me. Sorry to your team and your fans. You don't deserve this. This is number one. Shout outs to Showtime Pettis. Give the fans what they deserve." Showtime Pettis offered to step up, or actually, they asked him if he would step up for the main event, and he asked for more money. The UFC said no. There was 2 other fighters on this card, Alaquenta and Paul Felder, who both offered to step up. They asked them. Number 1, Alaquenta was over the championship weight limit, which is exactly 155 by 0.2 pounds.
Garbage.
Paul Felder, on the other hand,
Why didn't they give him a towel?
Because the weigh-ins were already done.
Oh, a towel.
made weight at 155, and the New York State Athletic Commission said that because he was not ranked in the top 10, he does not deserve a title shot, and they would not sanction that bout.
Stupid.
Absolutely crazy.
I don't like how the commissions can
Weren't
just pick
there
and choose
3
when
other
rankings
official
matter.
rankings that had him in the top 5?
Yeah,
From
but they were using the ones off the UFC website,
That's
and it
such
wasn't
shit.
there. Conor McGregor turned himself in at pretty much the late hour. He turned himself in, I believe, at like 11:30 before the event was over. Turned himself in, was basically thrown in jail for the night. There's all kinds of stuff going on with that. He was released this morning on bail.
Bailed out by Dylan Dennis from Bellator.
Yeah.
Who had $75,000 in his back pocket
on the plane.
Yeah, and so he got set. His bail
Don't
was
get the
set.
suitcase on the left. That has other stuff in it.
His bail was set at $50,000. He was allowed to go back, and they also, part of his bail package, allowed him to fly back to Ireland. They are not seizing his passport, which a lot of people
I hope his
thought
wife kicks his ass.
He was charged with 4 accounts. I'm not sure exactly which ones are felony and which ones are misdemeanor.
But they said he ended up with 3 felonies.
There were 3 accounts of assault, and there was 1 account of criminal misdemeanor or criminal mischief.
That's the felony, right?
I believe so. And
now, if with the Michael Chisia thing, that could be downgraded to a misdemeanor depending on his injuries.
Depending on the injury, yeah. Yeah. So, and then another team member also got charged along with him. I don't know, man. This whole thing is absolutely insane.
So if you're the Conor McGregor teammate that goes to jail with him, do you get more out of it? Like, is he going to take care of you when you guys get home? Is he going to be mad at the other 19 guys that didn't go to jail with him?
Yeah, but like they're saying that Artem was kicked off because he took part in it.
Because he took part in it.
Where was he in all that?
He was in the video. There's videos.
He's in the video.
I have videos of him doing it. Yeah. So formally charged. Cian Cowley was part of the group that was also a fighter that has. He was also charged with assault and criminal mischief. Again, I do not know which ones exactly, but I heard originally at one point it was 3 felonies, 1 misdemeanor. Now I've also heard 3 misdemeanors, 1 felony. Kind of goes back and forth. A lot of people I know that were talking to lawyers and trying to figure out what could happen. He could get in big time trouble. There, even if he has to pay a bunch of fines and enters a plea deal so he doesn't actually go to jail. The biggest problem that he faces is getting his, basically his passport allowed, his visa allowed to come back into the United States and fight. Because they could say, absolutely not. We're not going to allow you to come back to the United States.
And then the athletic commissions could also pull his fighting ability in New York.
Yep. Well, he didn't have one in New York because he's never fought in New York.
Or
it had expired from the last time he fought in New York.
These are 2 major infractions to the licensing board. This is the second event that he's come to.
Yeah.
Because he already did Bellator, and even though nothing happened about it, that's like one of those things.
They pulled him off the next fight card.
No, I know, but I mean...
he wasn't on the next fight card.
But legally, so then he was like, oh, okay, well, that wasn't that bad. Nothing bad came of it. This time he fucking lobs a dolly at a bus. Really? You didn't think some shit was coming down?
Yeah, I mean, at what point... Like, so this is the tweet from John Egg. He said, with 3 straight wins and 5 in his last 6, Paul Felder would be the most valuable option. He did come in on weight, whereas the other 2 did not. However, they said that he will not be fighting Khabib because the mission says he is not ranked higher based on the rankings the UFC had. So we were been told before the show started, right before the show started, Alaquinta is going to be fighting Khabib Nurmagomedov in the main event. However, because he was 0.2 pounds overweight, which they said if he was wearing boxer shorts, if he would have taken them off, he could have probably made weight. Mind you, he didn't know he was trying to make a championship fight.
Yeah, because the whole reason this is happening like this is because they don't go back and do re-weigh-ins.
You can't re-weigh in.
They're going off the weights from the original weigh-ins.
So because he did not make championship weight because he didn't know he had to, he did make his actual weight. Only Khabib could win the title if he wins this fight.
This is number one.
So is Iaquinta even getting any extra money for it?
Nobody's released those numbers yet, so it's very, very strange. Again, people on the internet were going crazy saying we should just put Khabib against the Bear. I mean, that's a fight 20 years in the making.
Yep.
A rematch.
Make it happen.
But which bear? Paddington, Fozzie.
A grizzly.
A grizzly?
Yep.
That one dude that hangs out on Mission in San Francisco. He's a bear.
Dana White.
That's a bear.
That's a bear.
Dana White said that he will absolutely not be helping McGregor. He says, normally, yes, I would dive right in and do everything in my power to help one of my guys. He's like, but not in this situation. He came to the Barclays Center, attacked our fighters, attacked my staff.
You can't be on both sides of this fight.
You're not getting my help with this one.
And that's the thing, too, is that we haven't talked about is that Rose Namajunas was on the bus as well.
Rose Namajunas was on the bus, was so emotionally distraught, she actually walked back to her hotel and refused to get back on the bus.
Yeah, and Dana White was going, after the video that we just showed, he was going to see her. She's decided to stay on the card.
Stay on the card.
But it was 50-50 for a minute, and then then because we didn't have the main event anymore, she was going to be the main event.
Yeah.
And now she's been bumped back down from the main event to the co-main event. Like psychologically for her,
Man.
and even Joanna, this is like it's a weird roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious to see where the focus is going to be in their match too.
Okay, so let's talk about ramifications here. Obviously, none of us are huge Conor McGregor fans. Do you see? I asked people this question online. Do you see him coming back? And Dana White going, all right, you're a fucking cash cow. I don't care. Pay your fines, do your time,
Yes.
and then you're going to come back and have a fight, and we're going to make a bunch of money, and we're just going to laugh at this whole thing?
So what do you do with him when the other fighters don't want nothing to do with him? Because right now, there's like
Allegedly-
her man and all his whole training partners, they're just like, wait till this is all done. We're gonna load up the van. We're gonna go to Ireland, everybody.
Oh, you and
Yeah. Do you feel? I mean, like you said, there was
Pat Barry?
there was allegedly 6 lawsuits filed by the end of the day.
He's going to have to fight more just to pay off all the levies and fines and lawsuits that he's going to get out of this.
Do you think he gets? Here's my thing. Why didn't the UFC immediately say, you know what, we're suspending him until further notice, just like they did John Jones, just like they did Thiago Santos when he got? Remember all these crazy things.
I
They
don't know,
could've said,
because especially
you're
because they have
suspended
him-
until further notice.
They have him dead to rights too, so I have no idea why they wouldn't do that. That's a great question. They are not. What they're not going to do is they're not going to cut his contract. That's guaranteed.
Well,
because-
Dana White said he was in negotiations for another contract. He was 100% going to be fighting at the end of the year.
Yeah, well, they're not going to cut him from whatever contract he has left. There's no way, because he'd go to Bellator. Scott Coker and Viacom would pay out the ass to have him over there. Just like this is the same reason he won't cut John Jones. John Jones is not going to be fighting for another couple of years, but they're not going to cut his contract because if he does go somewhere else, he's going to make that company a whole shitload of money.
But as a business move, just think baller status here.
They've let guys go for less.
Why don't you
But
just
they don't bring
cut-
in the kind of cash that.
I-
But
that I
but it
understand.
doesn't matter.
That I understand.
Send. I'm telling you right now, if you want
Send a
money-
message?
if you want people to pull their money out and pay for your shit, let's get rid of these nut huggers that are actually celebrating that McGregor did this. Like this was something good for the sport. This is time to separate. Step forward. Get rid of him. Let's watch everybody else jump into the ocean.
That's not what WME is about, though.
that's not the
WME
money.
is about
They'll
making
take
money.
the money. They don't care who
that's,
it is.
That's why they haven't cut John Jones, and they won't cut John Jones, is because people like the nut huggers that you're talking about will follow him somewhere else. Those
Yeah,
people,
but I don't care who you are. You're not going to get the money that the UFC has. Bellator has already had small troubles with getting everybody their exact pay.
I'm not arguing that, but if you start doing that to more and more fighters, let's just say they cut John Jones and Conor McGregor, and both of them go over to Bellator. All their fans are following them there.
For sure.
And every single time that they are on a card, that card is going to do exponentially better than any other card they have.
I do agree with Dana White, who said, you're going to lose fans this way. I do know multiple people who were fans of his that were like, what the fuck? Like, I'm cool with him bragging. I'm cool with him talking shit. I'm cool with him getting in people's faces and snatching belts off the table and, throwing money in the air and doing all that. But what the fuck, bro? You basically assaulted fighters who weren't even had a beef with you. I mean, Michael Chiesa is injured and off this card. You've now fucked with his livelihood. You now fucked with how he makes money. Same thing with Ray Borg.
We don't know the extent of his injuries.
Yeah,
do we know that he's not going to be scarred to where he's going to get opened up and fights a lot easier in the future? Ray Borg, when you get glass under your eye,
it's possible he could be done.
Yeah, you don't know. And then
everybody knows those buses have a safety mechanism. If you want it in that bus, you just go in and push, and the doors fold in.
That's not what he's thinking, though. He's thinking, let's rock the bus, let's riot, let's soccer hooligan the shit out of this.
If you're gonna rush the bus,
that's where he came from.
Go for the doors. They open up. That's designed that way for those buses.
Is it really?
Yes.
So if I just want to get on a city bus for free, I can just.
I'm not sure the city bus, but the small, like the casino buses, that's kind of what that is. They're people movers.
There's people that were saying, Conor McGregor made this event, relevant. Nobody gave a shit before, and now they're gonna be paying him more attention.
Yeah.
And
it was tracking really well.
I thought actually it was. Yeah.
We're down to 9 fights now. So
yeah. They already had.
They had to pull everything off of the Fight Pass. Now we're only got Fox Sports.
Yeah.
Oh, they pulled that last fight off Fight Pass?
They had to.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
everything got bumped. So there's no more Fight Pass fights.
So how many do we have now?
I think it's exactly 10. And
We
they
have
put
10?
5 on the main
Okay.
and 5 on the
All
prelims.
right. I saw 4 on the prelims, 1 on Fight Pass.
Yeah, I think,
So
we'll get to it
they
here
probably
when
changed it
we
then.
cut it down.
Whatever.
Yeah,
But,
they got to give us Fight Pass people at least one thing that nobody else gets to watch. They just took my $9.99.
I don't know where they go from here. I really don't. And again, it's probably talking to other people too. It's probably going to be 2 to 3 years before we actually find out.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 to 3 years before Conor fights
in the
again,
legal ramifications of what ends up happening. I mean, John Jones's shit was still going on 2 years later. Remember, we had to wait for
Mark Hunt's still going on, right?
Everything got pushed. Yep,
they asked for stays in the courtroom and all that stuff.
This looks really bad for the UFC.
It does. That's why they're bringing back Brock Lesnar. So it's cool.
Need another distraction?
Yeah. Do you know when he's coming back?
There's no actual sign.
Soon.
No sign anything. So UFC.
Oh, I thought Dennis said that they already signed a contract.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I saw that he's planning on it.
Right. Well, so that's the big
That's
news
huge,
this
yeah.
week.
So
Obviously,
if you haven't seen any of this stuff, like again, we gave you a big rundown. There's videos all over YouTube, all over Instagram, all over Snapchat, all over Twitter. Like there's tons of eyewitness videos. There's tons of breakdowns. This thing is absolutely insane.
So is Bellator going down tonight?
Bellator is going down tonight. You want to go that
Yeah,
first?
let's jump into that one first before we get to tomorrow.
So
night.
Bellator is going down tonight from Budapest, Hungary.
My heart's in Budapest. Something like that.
No. This is also going to be, this is a dual card.
I hate when you tease just a little,
Bellator Kickboxing 9 will be the prelims, and then you have the
nice. Okay.
thing. So, and if you're checking out the kickboxing, check out John Wayne Parr. That guy's fucking a beast.
All right.
Going against Eder Lopez. And then for their welterweight championship, you have Raymond Daniels going against the Jabril Iohu.
Sure.
Yeah,
I like it. I like this main event too.
Main event, yeah, for the Bellator card, we have Benson Henderson going against Roger Huerta. Roger Huerta?
I know.
What fucking year is it?
It's 10 years ago right
Where did he come from?
The first MMA fighter to ever grace the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Right? Yeah. That's crazy.
Crazy.
That was a big day.
It was indeed.
We were excited, man.
You could check that out. I still have that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I still have it in a little bag.
We finally made it, boys. We made it
Bellator 196. Check that out tonight.
Yeah, and I regret it every day now. I wish it was just people who really like the sport.
I would just would have stayed underground.
Yeah.
So goddamn Forrest Griffin and Stephen Bonner, if they wouldn't have fought their hearts out.
$25.99 pay-per-view.
Are you saying
Yeah.
that you don't like when people start liking the same stuff you do and they ruin what it originally was?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Don't be a hipster.
Don't be such a fucking. You're an elitist.
I used to listen.
No.
The difference is
I used to listen to them when they were underground.
This is serious stuff.
the difference is
It's real to me.
the sport has changed because of becoming mainstream. Whereas when other people start liking some indie band, they don't change. It's still the same band.
Shut the fuck
Sometimes
Shut the fuck up.
the band just hangs out, does the same shit.
So yeah. The
They
guys
never
sit
change
down.
members.
Nope. All right, so yeah, if you have Fight Pass, you did lose your exclusivity.
Thanks
on
for the
this
cover
event.
fire.
There you go.
UFC 223 is still happening. If you care to watch some fights,
Yeah, it's not, but we have 9 fights.
we have.
9 fights.
Is it 9?
Yep.
That's why they lost the last one. Yeah. All right. I saw 10 earlier.
Devin Clark is going to be going up against Mike Rodriguez.
This
kicked
just
off
in.
on Fox Sports 1. Beck Rawlings is fighting this weekend up against Ashley Evans Smith.
Yeah.
We also have Evan Dunham taking on Oliver Aubin Mercier.
Oliver Closeoff.
Oliver Klozoff. God, I haven't heard that one in a while. Carolina Kowalkiewicz taking on Felice Herrig as well, and that's all free on Fox Sports 1. From there, we jump on to your actual pay-per-view, the clusterfuck that it is, this absolute train wreck, Ultimate Fighting Circus. This is Joe Lauzon kicking it off against Chris Grootsmatcher. Then you have
Goober Smoocher.
Grootsmatcher.
Yeah, that's German for something.
And then Zabit.
It's for smashing the gooch, right?
Yeah. The Gooch.
Zabit.
Brother, tell
Wait,
us not
Magomed Sharapov. What do you think?
That's pretty close.
Magomed Sharapov. I think I got it.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Zabit Magomed Sharapov.
You practiced that before, right?
I was looking at it the whole time it was up on the screen.
He's not even looking at the other ones. He's like,
Yeah.
all right.
Joey sees the name.
I saw Zabit and I was like, what
Joey's-
the hell is
Joey's-
that? The alphabet
Joey's 0
after
for
it.
5 in last names this year.
He's moving up for us.
Yeah.
Joey's 0 for 5, and we're hoping.
As
He nails it!
he lines up his shots. He's testing the wind.
Hey, and you got to be the wind in the background.
So Zabit Magomed Sharapov goes up against Kyle Bokniak. And then
Didn't his
Renato.
uncle invent Apple?
Yes. Renato Marciano takes on Calvin Qatar. This is how bad Conor screwed this card.
Yeah.
Is because we're in the main event now, and like 99% of the people listening right now didn't recognize any of those names except for maybe Joe Lauzon. That's how bad this card is right now. Wow, way to go. I guess Conor actually won 223, didn't he?
Yeah.
Then you have...
Dude, don't start that.
Yeah.
This would be a meme. It's like, I beat the whole card.
I beat the whole card.
Meet Artem, the only thing I've ever defended.
Ever.
Only me, Artem.
Now he's
I've
going
never
to
defended a belt, but I'll get in a plane to fight for Artem.
defend Artem, and now I'm going to defend my money in courts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to have a lot of defenses coming
It's
up
okay.
here.
We're going to be touching some butt.
His butt.
He's got lots of practice there.
Your champ, Rose Namajunas, is going to be going up against rematch with Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
I originally was taking Rose. I really think she could do this. In my opinion, when Joanna lost the first time, I was surprised for sure. But watching the fight, I was like, oh, dude, she dominated. And then I was okay with Joanna, saying she's just the better fighter. I just lost, blah blah blah. And then as the excuses started coming out, I felt like her confidence was waning a little bit, and she had to come up with something. And then she said she had a weight cut issue, and then she said she had this. And then now she's trying to 360 be like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine with losing. It's cool that I lost. It's no big deal. But early, when it was first coming out, it was not. So I felt Rose was in her head. I thought she was way more confident. Now with this whole fucking Conor thing, and her walking back, and just you're going to be the main event, you're not the main event.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen.
It's going to be interesting.
I'm still rooting for Rose. I like Joanna as a champion when she was champion. I think it's Rose's time.
So these are two fighters that we all really like. And don't want either one of them to lose.
Yeah.
But I think I'm worried about Rose's head game. If she can come through and be as dominant as she was last time, then it'll definitely show where her mentality is when it comes to something like this.
I can't. I'm on the thing.
And then, of course, your main event, which is a very odd one. It's for the belt if Khabib wins.
Yep. Habib's got to win this one.
Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Divinity.
Look what I can do. And Ali Quinta are facing off.
There's a couple
Raging
people
out.
just looking at Al like, don't win. Just don't win. Let him have this belt.
Let's just go on.
Just go.
The problem is if Khabib wins this fight and he gets the belt, we are not going to see him again for 3 years.
I felt like, before
3 years.
before the whole Conor craziness happened and with the fucking mini riot and the soccer hooligans, that when people are saying, oh, he's gonna be stripped, it's a whole big deal. Like Dana White flat out said, yeah, we're gonna strip him the belt, but immediately he comes back, he can have a title shot. And I was actually okay with that. Like, strip the guy. They do this in boxing all the time. The guy retires with the belt or gets stripped. You get to have a title shot when you come back.
Yeah, make a fight 2 or 3.
Nah, I'm okay with it. Like, if it was recent, it was within a reasonable amount of time, like later this year or next year, I'd be okay with it.
Because you're not on the nuts. I mean, you're on a ladder getting to the nuts.
No.
But even then with Tony now, like,
But
he's
look,
injured.
let GSP do it.
Yeah.
I didn't agree with that. And that's the whole problem that we're going to have with the commission there is they have all the cards on the table. We already had Congress tell them, your guys' whole ranking system's flawed.
Yeah. Yeah.
GSP came back. When did he fight? Oh, he hadn't fought in like 2 years.
Except
why
for-
was he fighting for a title? He was the best fighter in the
Except for
ring
they
that
just
night.
used those rankings to tell Paul Felder that he's not allowed to fight for the title. Even though if you look at his fucking record or how he's been fighting, he should be fighting
No, that's
for
the thing,
title.
is that they've already showed us how useless rankings are, so don't try to use it as evidence for something else later on. Whatever.
So, yeah, I don't know. And Tony Ferguson, obviously, if he gets back from his knee injury, I think he should get an immediate title shot to whoever.
Yeah, I agree.
What happens, though, if Quinta wins?
The world burns down.
There's no fucking belt. We have no belt.
Dogs
No,
and
because
cats
they
living
said-
together.
Well, no, that's right, because he's stripped as soon as the cage door shuts.
As soon as the cage door shuts and they throw punches, he's stripped of the belt.
Unless he jumps in the cage and starts throwing punches himself.
Apparently, he's not allowed back in the
What if he
building.
throws a dolly into the cage?
Now that I think about it, I'm going to make a meme with the Burger King with his hands like this.
I saw one.
They gotta
that was
pull their
picture,
ads.
that picture of Conor where it was like, just tell me the rule set, and it was like, and it had a picture of the dolly, and it was like, just tell us the rule set.
Nice. So if you're ordering the pay-per-view tomorrow, enjoy. Are they discounting it at all?
No.
They're not discounting
Card subject to change, folks. Card subject to change. It says it on the bottom of every single
Every
time.
time. Banana Land, man. That's what they should call this one. UFC 223. Banana Land.
Yeah, because as crazy as this is, just pay for it, because this is kind of cool. I mean, it's really bad that all this is happening, but in a small way, this is some crazy shit.
Connor's Playhouse.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, you don't know. Maybe they'll fucking start a fire in the middle of the fight.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows, man? Thanks for listening.
Sting might show up for a second time.
You know what's crazy is if like fucking they get Dana to start coming in and button up shirts and fighting the guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Almost like McMahon.
Almost like McMahon.
Maybe
They already
set
got
up,
the
like-
backstage footage going.
No, they set up his desk and then he could do negotiations in the ring
Yeah.
before the fights.
Yeah, that happens too.
You know?
I like it. Check out 223 and Bellator
And his
going down
son
this
Aiden's
weekend.
got hands, right?
I think
Yes.
so.
Kind of like Shane.
How many times can we stop Bueller from finishing the show?
Wait, I don't know how to finish the show. Come back.
It's over.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say. See you at Night Fights. What's going on after the fight?
Check in with Dependable
Dependable
Solutions.
I'm on a
Dependable
strong board.
Solutions.
They're our sponsor.
Yeah.
I'm still doing the show.
Strongboardbalance.com.
We got Morty over here.
What's going on?
I don't like it, Rick.
I don't like it. Oh, jeez, Rick.
Come on. Just wrap up the show there, Morty. Come on.
Oh, jeez, Rick. I don't
I'm
know.
Dennis. That's Brandon. The guy who's off stage is Wiener Face and Wiener Head. We'll
Have a
see you
good
at
night.
the fights.
See you at the fights. Best ending ever.